Hi, it's Dan from Parker's here, and we are in a constant state of changing legislation around the property market. So we, as your local property market experts, always make sure that we are getting the advice and guidance of the best experts around. So today we are going to be having a look at the change with trading standards with regards to what sellers are required to show when selling a property, and the value of being much more transparent with information provided to buyers to limit abortive sales and fall-throughs. So we have brought in the absolute legal expert on this. It's a chap called Dan Szasz from Dutton Gregory, who are forerunners in the solicitors field for this. So Dan, welcome. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
What can a seller do before they agree a sale to ensure that they are in the best position?
Of course. I mean, we all know that period of, when they accept an offer is the busiest period for our property transaction. So by instructing a solicitor up front before they've agreed that, there's quite a lot they can get to. It's always quite daunting for our clients when they instruct us, because they will receive a pack of paper which is about that thick, and they have to sit there. They 9 times out of 10 don't understand what they're doing. You've got property information forms in there which will talk about your boundaries, which side's which. A lot of people, believe it or not, do not know that information. They've got their fixtures and fittings in there, so i.e. they might be wanting, say, £100 for the blinds in the property. That actually allows them a bit of time to work through that information and actually then provide that to us. Then we can open up the file and get ready to go and i.e. issue contracts. Another thing which does take a little bit amount of time is ID. Yeah. So again, we are in a day and age where we do embrace technology. We can confirm who you are via the use of a smartphone, but we get that doesn't fit for everyone. So if they need to visit our offices to provide their ID, they can do that. If they need to get it signed by the post office, an example, they allow themselves time to do that, if that makes sense.
Great.
But there's a lot of information to go through when you're instructing a solicitor.
And it's good to get that all done
100%,
before they
it allows you time to sit there and actually work through it with time on your side, rather than thinking, oh, we've sold, we need to instruct.
Great. And how much time could this save?
So as I mentioned in your question earlier, the paperwork we send out is quite lengthy. So allowing them that time to actually instruct us before they place the house on the market, as soon as their offer comes in, we can issue contracts near on straight away, same day, if not following that. So
it's going to save
it does
2-3 weeks or
an
so,
enormous amount of time when you're sort of placing the property on the market to do so, because you've done everything prior to doing that.
Fantastic. As a buyer, is there a cost to me to instruct a solicitor before I sell?
Yes, there is, but our fees are payable on completion. But we usually do take a payment of either £300 to £400 on account initially, whether that be you're selling or you're buying. Now, there are things we need to pay up for upfront as a law firm, so i.e. office copies. So we need to get title registers, so we know what the property is we're selling, and so on and so forth, especially when you're selling on that side. But when you're buying, it comes into searches, there's search packs which need to be ordered, and these are all third-party disbursements, so i.e. we need to pay for them up front before we bill for our work, if that makes sense.
Of course, makes sense, absolutely. And what are the benefits of using a good local solicitor that's also got a great active working relationship with their estate agent?
As we know, communication is key. By working with a good local law firm, it allows us to work with you on a regular basis, which allows us to develop a contact strategy which works for us. So 9 times out of 10, the complaints we get when people approach us are, I can never get hold of my lawyer. We're trying to change that, if that makes sense. We make sure our teams are heavily supported. So if you can't get hold of your point of contact, there's a heavily supported admin team aside there who can assist and have an understanding of cases to provide you, the client, and everyone in the process an update of as to where we are.
Sounds simple, isn't it? Communication.
It does sound simple, and I think we both know that this job and this industry we come down to, all this comes down to is communication. As your viewing feedback as an example, an eager seller has a viewing today. Tomorrow they want to know whether it's good, bad or indifferent. It's very similar to in our industry. We need to keep everyone updated throughout the process.
Sounds great. Are there likely to be any further changes to trading stands, definition of this, and more in-depth information being required?
The question there, Dan, is how long is a piece of string? If we use the Renters Reform Bill as an example, I think we're on the 3rd reading now with lots of changes. So The answer for me is yes, I do, but who knows what that's going to look like. I think they've made some changes recently which I think are good for the market. It's going to allow people to make a more informed decision, hopefully moving forward, and hopefully stop a lot of the fall-throughs because buyers are making their decision before viewing the property. They've got all the information in front of them.
Brilliant. Thanks, Dan. That's fantastic. So thank you for watching today. I hope you found that useful. So if you want to get ahead of the competition and really limit the chance of your house sale having issues and potentially even falling through, speak to your local Parker's Valuer when we come to see you. We'll help get you in touch with Dutton Gregory and get contract ready and make your move happen. Thanks.